when you're volunteering, you don't see race or sex or size or status. It's just people coming together with one common goal.
And in order for everyone to basically survive or to thrive, we need each other. From that perspective, volunteering is something that, done from an Indigenous perspective, that has a utility. And that is something that my parents have kind of emphasized. And that is something that is done in practice whenever we meet for gatherings, for the Sundance, that type of thing. Everyone's helping each other out. They're not being paid to be there.
So don't really be in it for the publicity, be in it to just heal your soul, make you feel better, make the people you're helping feel better.
My name is Michelle McCann, and as a profession, I work for Volunteer Lethbridge as a coordinator. And in my spare time, I'm really involved in the community as a volunteer. I started volunteering when I was really young, just through organizations that my parents were involved with. And we, for example, Dad worked at Denison Mines, and he was on the social committee. So guess what? We would help, and go with him and help out there. So I think it just started there, just volunteering for whatever my parents volunteered at, and then it progressed to school events, dances, that kind of thing.
My name is Megan. I currently work at the Chinook Interfaith Country Kitchen. And so I teach cooking programs to disadvantaged members of our community. When I was quite young, I think I was maybe 12 or 13, my family signed us up to work at the soup kitchen. We lived in Edmonton at the time, so we volunteered with that one. And it was really, really impactful for me at that age, because it gave me a real sense of, hey, my actions help, my actions matter. That the things that I do, even just chopping these potatoes, that is actually, there's a direct link to me helping somebody.
My name is Zerlina Amuso Cecil, and I started volunteering here back in 2020. And at first I used to come here a couple times, and then I decided, I'll help them, since I took what's theirs, just pay them back by volunteering. So I come walking most often, carrying my foot, and I come twice a week or 3 times. Okay, and I don't worry, I'm here to work, I'm here to work hard.
They show up here at 8 o'clock and they work till 12, and they do that 2, 3, 4 times a week sometimes, and the consistency and the dedication, my heart melts so many times.
My name is Umedaly. That's my Blackfoot name. It translates to turning woman. And English name is Kalita Dichi, but I go by KJ. A year ago, when the 215 children were found in Kamloops, me and my friends were posting about that on our stories, reposting and posting all over our social medias, making sure that people knew about it. So a lot of people, some people come up to me and like, oh, do you still have the teepees? Saying they don't care, your elders are gonna die anyways, you're losing your culture, who cares? I love Canada Day celebrations. So we kind of started because of that, and we wanted to, raise more awareness about what the Indigenous people go through. So we started Indigenous Rally, and I hope to have a 3rd annual this year. In September we have Orange Shirt Skate Jam. I started that after the 1st annual Indigenous Awareness Rally. I feel like one of the key challenges is making it officialized. I mean, it only costs $70, I think it is, and that's not that difficult. It's about all the people that are going to be put work into it, how active they can stay.
Kenzie, she's a approved Alberta Health Services pet visitation dog. So she visits the 2 or 3 different floors at the hospital. I did start when Mom and Dad were in care at different facilities. So I just started to bring my dog just because they loved the dogs, And then I thought, I'm going to do this officially. The doctors are actually prescribing people to volunteer. Get out of the house, get out and give of yourself. And that's where I started, because I was in grief because I had lost my mom. And that was part of it. Just get out. Just get your mind away from that sorrow and that pain, and go out and give back somehow. And it's becoming actually a buzzword now, and it's called social prescribing. I was on the pediatric ward the other day, and there was a little girl who was probably 10 years old, and her dad was in there, and her face just lit up. Like, if I could have left Kenzie there for the day, I would have. And then the dad told me that the mom was downstairs getting prepped for a C-section to have a baby. So, I know that moment probably changed her life in a way. So that's the most impactful, I think.
My name is Echo Novak, and I am on the board of directors at the Interfaith Food Bank, and I'm also a volunteer. Healing Garden is a space in town where you can come and learn about Indigenous plants and Indigenous ways of being. We look forward to workshops and learning in there, and it really gives the urban Indigenous population a place to come and connect with nature.
My name is Derek Melting-Tello. I run a program called Secure Your Food. The purpose of the program is to improve people's access to food security. But also we want the ultimate goal of improving your own food sovereignty, which is different from food security. Food security is about your access to food, good or bad, while food sovereignty is more about creating your own food systems, own personalized food systems, which are more healthier for you. Within our conventional food system, we have a very lacking in food systems that are personalized and whole, I guess you would say. So as a result of that, we've looked at other things that have been done across the world on YouTube and other growing practices, and see what we can do to personalize the process and make it more accessible for people to use. And then for the Interfaith Food Bank, they were desiring a healing garden with Indigenous plants, and that was kind of a knowledge gap for us, but it was something that was on our list of things we wanted to develop and enhance. And this, working with Interfaith Food Bank on this project was one way to help out with that, do something that they wouldn't be able to do on their hands. And it was a wonderful collaboration between William Singer from Nappy's Garden and Interfaith and myself. So it will be an experience for people because they don't know how to use the plants. They might not necessarily be aware of it, but there are portions of the garden that will entice them in. The raspberries, the strawberries, but each of the plants will have a QR code which they'll be able to look at and be able to see how the First Nations people in this area use them. And then they'll probably notice that the other plants also have QR codes, so they can look at it and see how we use them, and then it could possibly invite them to try it out. Well, historically, whenever anything is put onto rock art, it's meant to commemorate an event and whatnot, and being that this was something that we wanted to kind of contrast with let's see, for example, the manhole cover. Obviously we can't go back in time, but it was a nice contrast to show that they were able to coexist within that little space there. So it's kind of symbolic that way. And that's what the design was meant to reflect.
People are coming here and they feel good about walking into the building. It's not foreign to them, it's not frightening, it's part of the community.
Oh my goodness, it just gets into your blood, I guess. Because once you do it 2 or 3 times, you can feel that you've made a difference, right? And you understand what volunteering is. So it's not something that's super structured. It's just something that you do, that you find in your heart to do. It's a kindness that you give of yourself, I guess. Like, you know, what's your time? Time is, you know, 2 hours here, 3 hours there, that kind of thing.
There's always ways to get involved, whether it's working in the warehouse or client intake, helping out in the kitchen or in the garden. There's special events, or the food bank is really also really open to helping or coming up with other ideas, right? If you have an idea for your group or your class or your family, if you wanted to do a food drive, or you have this amazing idea, then they're really willing to talk with you and collaborate on your idea.
Just go for it. Just try it, because there's no there's no consequence. There's no risk, right? It's a try it out, no risk. One of the great things about volunteering is that you're not committed for a lifetime, right? You can go and you can just try it one day, and if it's not your thing, you don't have to come back. Try something else. So it's a low risk trial. Just go for it.